page, but we're going to talk about a monument. So what does that mean? So if you have a look here, you can see that before I show you, when we travel, we always are going to see something amazing. Maybe it's a building, it's a statue. I mean, you're always going to want to travel around a city and look at places and see things. And I want to help you to be able to talk about it. So I want you to imagine that you are going to be a tour guide and you're going to show someone a statue or something. So I want to give you some expressions that we use because you could use this when you come back from your holiday and you're telling your friends and family, what did you see? You know, what was the history of this monument, of this statue? What was the important information about it? What was interesting? Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. Look at some expressions that's very casual, very friendly, very, you know, how to make yourself sound interesting when you talk about your trip and what did you see on your trip, okay? So we're gonna practice some expressions. We're gonna look at some expressions first, and then we're going to talk about some monuments that you have seen in the world. But first, let's talk about some expressions. So if you were a tour guide, you would say something like, "Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the tour." So imagine that you are showing some people, tourists, a statue. So you'd say, "Today, for example, I'm going to show you maybe around the city of London." Okay, around means like, you know, many places. We're going to walk, maybe. I'm going to show you around. You could say, "This is." So when you're looking at something, you could say, "This is the statue of whatever. This is the River Thames. This is the Tower Bridge." Okay, so especially when you're looking at it and you're saying, "This is." You could say, "It's famous because," and then you can give some history about it. What is some facts? Who designed it? When? Where? Some other expressions. And now let's look at another famous London site. Straight ahead. So straight ahead means like in front of us, to your right, further to the right. You can see. And then to end it, you'd say that's the end of our tour. And of course, do you have any questions? So this was just some very quick expressions, but let's practice it here. So you can have a look. Tell us about a monument. Okay, so remember a monument is like this one in Brazil. I think, Suellem, is that right? This is in Brazil. Yes, this is a monument. Yes, we have this one in Italy. This one in France, the Eiffel Tower. This one is in Italy again, the Leaning Tower. This is in Israel, the Western Wall. And this is in Sydney, Australia, the Opera House. And I think this is in Egypt, the pyramids. Okay, so these places are called monuments. So like I said, they could be statues, and there's a lot of history to it. Okay, so I want you to be able to pick one and talk about it. Okay, because as I said, when you're traveling, you're always going to want to tell your friends, you know, what did you see? What was exciting? What was interesting? So let's practice our English by speaking about a monument. Okay, so you can pick one. Maybe you did see it in real life, or you can just pick one, imagine it, and look up some information. But let's look first at some examples and, you know, make it very casual because you want to imagine you're speaking to your friends and your family or your husband, or, you know, you want to have very casual. You don't want to sound like you are reading the internet. Okay, you want very casual English. So make sure when you explain something, especially the history, try and explain it very easy. So if you have a look at here, I see Yana. So try to add a picture because a picture is good. Can you guess what monument this is? Which country? Taj Mahal in India. Yes. Okay, so Yaneth says, hello everyone. Sorry, I'll read the English, my one. So hello everyone, and great to meet you all here at the Taj Mahal. Okay, so nice introduction. Imagine you are a tour guide. So you want to say, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. Imagine you are in front of the Taj Mahal and you are showing the Taj Mahal to many tourists. Okay, so we're going to practice our English this way. So Yanat says, hello everyone, and great to meet you. Great to be here at the Taj Mahal, which is a famous marble mausoleum located in Agra, India. Okay, so again, you want to keep the English very simple and you just want to say what it is first, very simply. What is it? Is it a statue of Christ? Is it a temple? Is it whatever? Okay, so here she says it's a marble mausoleum. So again, not a very common casual word. We can change that after. So now you want to talk a little bit about the history. So she says it was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, I think, in memory of his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal. Construction began in 1632 and it was built in 1653. Okay, so you want a history of why was this building built, when, and where, in which country. The Taj Mahal is famous for its exquisite beauty and architecture grandeur. It is considered one of the best examples of Mughal architecture, mixing elements of Persian, Islamic, and Indian styles. In addition, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So this means of all the places in the world, that there are some places which are like heritage, like they cannot be destroyed. And one of the 7 wonders of the world. Have you heard of this 7 wonders of the world? Like there's 7 things in the world that are just amazing. The monument is surrounded by beautiful gardens. So she's showing you what's around. There's beautiful gardens, reflecting pools, and other structures. The main building is made entirely of white marble. So she told you what is it made from, with intricate carvings and delicate inlays of semi-precious stones. Okay, so after she gave you the history, she gave you some important information, and then she said, hope you enjoyed the tour. Okay, a little bit formal. We want it to be a bit more casual. So this is Santiago, and as I said, the Western Wall in Israel. So he is speaking about this wall here, and he wants to tell us the history and why is it important. So Santiago says, hi everyone, and welcome to Jerusalem, Israel. Where we are standing is here at the Western Wall, or as it is also known as the Wailing Wall. This is the remaining foundation that was part of the last temple for Israelites. So again, the history, it was built in 20 BC by Herod the Great. That is 20 years before Christ. So you see how he's making the conversation sound very casual, not just like the internet. You don't want to sound like the internet. You want to sound casual, you know, giving some information, because people are going to fall asleep. It's boring if you're like talking facts off the internet. So he says this was from 20 years before Christ. Jesus himself would come here, and he would come here when he was in Jerusalem. It is the architectural style of the old Roma and is the most sacred place for Judaism. That means it's very special for this religion. The wall is 19 meters high. Okay, so he's giving you some measurements, and 488 meters long. But you can see 60 meters of it. That is because the rest of the wall is underground. Religious Orthodox Jews come here to pray. So he told you why it's important. So these people, they come here to pray. While here, it is also common to write a prayer or a request to God. You can see that there are two different sections. One is for the men, and the other is for the women. Okay, so very good casual English. This happens because for Judaism, women are regarded as sacred, as special. Today, anyone of any faith can come here to pray or just to observe the last remaining structure of this temple. Okay, so that was pretty good English, very easy. He made it sound fun. He told you some interesting history, measurements, you know, very fun. That was this picture here in Jerusalem. Okay, Lewis, do we know where this is? This is in France, in Paris. Okay, so Lewis is going to talk about this monument. And Lewis says, hello, guys. Welcome to, I don't know how to pronounce it, the Louvre, a famous museum in Paris. Okay, so very casual, famous museum in Paris. I will be your guide. I think he's made it a conversation. So I think a tourist says, hello, we would like to know more about this monument. And then Lewis says, sure. The Louvre Museum is France's national museum, dedicated to both art, archaeology, and the decorative arts. It is located in Paris, the country's capital, in the formal royal palace of the Louvre. And then he's made it a bit like a conversation, but I don't want you to do conversation. So the tourist says, what are the best parts that we should not miss? And then he says the 13 best works from the Louvre in Paris. So he talks about 13, maybe some paintings or something inside the museum. Okay, I'll just go to the next one because that was more a conversation. We do not want a conversation. So this is Yana. She's talking about this building. Do you know where this building is? In Paris. Okay, so this is in Paris again. And this is what Yanath says. Yanath says, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Palace of Versailles, one of the most famous and expensively made palaces in the world. Located just outside of Paris, the Palace of Versailles was the royal residence of Louis. I think that would be 14 or 614. The Sun King. Built in the 17th century, the palace is an architectural masterpiece with grand halls and impressive gardens. The palace has more than 2,300 rooms and is decorated with priceless works of art, such as paintings, sculptures, and pieces of cloth, with patterns used as a wall hanging or soft furnishing. Some of the most interesting rooms include the Hall of Mirrors, the Great King's apartments, and the Queen apartments. One of the most interesting facts about Versailles is that it was not always a palace. It was originally a hunting lodge. So when people wanted to go hunting, they would go to this place, built by Louis XIII, I think. It was not until his son, Louis XIV, decided to expand and renovate the lodge that it became the grand palace we know today. Okay, this is from this is another one. So in Italy, you'll know this monument in Italy. Okay, so very famous in Italy. And we have, hi everyone, and welcome to the Colosseum. You can see a sand and gravel pit behind us. This was the largest structure in the center of ancient Rome. It was built between 70 and 80 AD and is 48 meters long. Okay, so you could see exactly which year and what's the measurement. It was used as a theater which could fit 50 to 80,000 people. Mainly, people came to see gladiator competitions here. Now, it's the last remaining old structure in Rome. Now, she gave us some important information. In the movie Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, Reckoning, Part 1, most of the scene where Tom Cruise and the heroine race were filmed here. That's interesting. So the movie, they made a movie there. Today, for only 23 euros, you can enter this amazing place. So that was really good, yeah? She gave you history, she gave you some important information, but you don't want to talk about everything. Just what is really, wow, amazing information, okay? You don't want to talk about all the history. It'll be very, very boring. And try to make the language casual, because if it's hard for people to understand, they're going to feel like they're reading a book. It's boring. You want it to be casual, you know, very casual language. Okay, another example is from Shirley, and this monument is in Germany, the Berlin Wall. Have you heard of the Berlin Wall? In Germany. Okay, so Shirley says, good morning and welcome to the tour. Today, I'm going to show you around the historic Berlin Wall. Our first stop will be the east side of the wall, where you'll see amazing artwork that show Berlin's history and the destruction of the wall. This wall is 160 kilometers long. It goes through the heart of the city and near the border between West Berlin and Brandenburg. This wall stood for 28 years. Many unforgettable stories happened here. Some people crossed it, while others lost their lives trying to. Some people even dug tunnels and managed to escape. Today, many people come here and see it and remember the history. So that's very beautiful, the Berlin Wall. Okay, so Mia is telling us about this one. Okay, so it could be a building, it could be a statue. So let's listen to some information about this place. So Mia says, hi everyone, and welcome to the Cathedral of Notre Dame de Paris. This cathedral is a widely recognized symbol of Paris and the French nation. It was built in 1163 and took 2 centuries to complete, 200 years. It is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture and is famous for its magnificent spire, beautifully carved porch, and stained glass windows. The cathedral is renowned for its last sermon, a tradition founded in 1830 by the Dominican Jean-Baptiste Henry Lacordaire. As soon as you enter Notre Dame, you will be shocked by its solemn atmosphere. I mean, it's very like quiet in there. The tall vaults and pillars give off an ancient and sacred atmosphere. And you can see the whole church is illuminated by a soft light as the sun comes through the stained glass windows. In the early 21st century, approximately 12 million people visited Notre Dame annually. That means every year, making it the most visited monument in all of Paris. Okay, and the last one we have from Curly, and this was together, Curly and Eloise, but no photo. So try to add an image. So they say, hello, everyone. We are Eloise and Curly. And today we are introducing the ruins of Petra. Petra is an important archaeological ruin in Jordan. Its construction began in 1200 BC. The city remained strong during the Roman and Byzantine empires, but 2 earthquakes devastated it, bringing the city down. Petra is situated between the mountains that form the eastern part of Wadi Araba, the great valley that runs from the Dead Sea of the Gulf of Aqaba. The ruins were discovered in 1812 and soon generated great curiosity among visitors and archaeologists. In 1985, Petra was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. The ruins have managed to survive over time and are impressively beautiful. An interesting fact is that Petra is often the setting for films such as Indiana Jones. So that's interesting. She's telling you that there was a film there made. If you want to travel to Jordan, set aside 75 euros to visit Petra. The busiest tours are the Treasure Temple, El Deir, the monastery, Wadi Musa Valley, and Petra by night, which takes place at night, with music and illuminated path to the Treasure Temple. Okay, so now you know how to talk about a monument. So you're going to pick one. If you want, it can be one that's in your country, or maybe you went on a holiday and you saw something, or you could just pick one anywhere in the world, because this is an opportunity for you to learn about a monument in the world. And I want you to use very simple English, not like on the internet, very hard or history book. Make it very simple English, because you are going to come up and to speak. So you're going to come up and speak. Yes, okay. So Lucy, you'll come up and me and Suellem are going to listen to you. And after Suellem, you will come up and me and Lucy are going to listen to you. So keep the English simple, okay? Include history. What's important? What's interesting? Don't make it too long. So if you have a look, some of them are very long. Yeah, keep it very simple. You know, what's the history? Which year? Why is it important? What can we see? Do we need to pay to go inside? Just very, you know, only important information, because you can find a lot of information. So make sure you pick something that people are going to be like, wow, that's so interesting. Okay. Okay, so I'll give you some moments. So remember, you're going to tell us about a monument. You can pick one anywhere where you want. Okay, so upload it. I'll fix the English, and after you'll come and present it.